What is going on, everybody? We are here and we are live. And Jay looks like he's
traveling, man. I'm a traveling fool. Traveling again. Here we go.
traveling again. And his mic sounded like absolute dog shit when he first came in here. And he's like, I don't think that's me. I don't think it's me.
It
I'm
was
like,
me.
I'm pretty sure it's you.
But we got it fixed. We got it fixed.
Got it
That's
fixed.
it. But yeah, like this is gonna be a crazy month travel for me. Also, like I've announced this before. I'll be in Utah, like near the mid of September, with Gina. Like we'll be doing some of the the Comic Con in Utah. So come check us out if you're in the area. I think it's like September 20th. So, and we'll have more dates announced, like when they get finalized, stuff like that. So she's getting ready. She's hitting the road again as well. So we'll see how that all works out.
Nice. That'll be fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Have you ever been to
wild.
Utah? Have you ever been to Utah?
I think I've driven through it, like on my way either from Indiana to California or through Colorado. Like I think I've driven through it, but I have not spent any time there. All I know is the beer is only like 3% alcohol or some shit.
Yeah.
You had to drive across the border to get like 5% alcoholic beer. So I don't know about that.
Isn't there a lot of Mormons there? Like, is that Mormon town?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Mormontown, USA, I believe. That's actually the capital, not Salt Lake City. Mormontown, USA. So yeah, that'll be fun. I'm sure she's not doing too many of these, right?
No, they're like a select, and so we're trying to get a couple more cities down while she's working on another project as well. So like that's all kind of exciting for her. She loves it. She loves meeting the fans. She loves meeting the people, and we always have a good time. Always have a good time when we're there. I am like I have to prepare. I might have to call Ryan like later and like try to get like make sure I don't mess it as I'm gonna meet Michael J. Fox, and I don't want to like I don't want to mess that up. Say something a little concerning, So I'll be
yeah,
like,
you don't want
Ryan,
to. You don't want to be on shaky ground. I get what you're saying.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want to. Yeah, I don't want to go in there.
Yeah, like I wonder what wonder what it looks like when Michael J. Fox signs autographs. You're like, man, pretty messy handwriting there, huh? He's got a special machine. He's got a special machine that he sets like the pictures on that shakes with him, so it comes out right. I don't know, something like that.
I see the jokes in the chat too. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, someone says, "Don't say." Do you really have Parkinson's disease?
Do you really hate sand? Do you really have Parkinson's, Michael J. Fox?
Yeah. Man,
you know
what would be the worst thing is if I trip him. Like if he's walking,
might kill him.
It would be a scene.
You know what you should ask him about? Homeward Bound. That's what you should ask him about. He is the voice of Chance in Homeward Bound. And that, other than Back to the Future, that's actually probably my favorite Michael J. Fox movie, even though he's just the voice of Chance in that.
I was gonna see if I could do something different and talk about Teen Wolf. So
he probably gets some questions about that.
Maybe that.
Doc Holliday, he was Doc Hollywood, right?
Doc Hollywood, yeah.
Doc Hollywood. He was in that. Yeah. I don't know. I would stay away from Parkinson's.
The whole gang from Back to the Future will be there. So hopefully, I have two goals when I go there. Hopefully, I can get Tom Wilson to call me a butthead, something like that. I think that'd be kind of cool for the old collection. But yeah, that's it. And then not to trip Michael J. Fox. We'll see. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah, I hope that's a franchise that never gets touched. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. It's like one of the last ones, right? It's like literally one of the last ones that hasn't been.
Chris
dabbled
Gore,
in it a little bit.
Chris Gore a couple years ago on the Film Courage or whatever channel that is that does those interviews that sometimes end up going viral. He did a thing about like why people need to stop doing this shit, and he made an example like, what if they did a gender swapped, Back to the Future, like to do some kind of remake. And he said, immediately think of how creepy people are going to perceive it if she goes back in time and her dad's hitting on her or whatever. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, entire like fucking power dynamic would change and like it would be fucking awful. But that's exactly something that Hollywood would do without having any idea what the ramifications actually would be. And I hope it's something that never happens. That's for sure.
That would be. I wonder. So if they were to like mix it, would her mom be the peeping tom and not
Yeah, you know what I
not the
mean?
dad?
Yeah, I don't know. Um, but yeah, someone said Jessica and Chess is my uncle has Parkinson's. My great grandpa had Parkinson's. So I watched obviously he was my great grandpa, so I didn't get to see him when he was younger. But yeah, I mean later in life it became very tough for him to for you to understand him, for him to speak, for him to do anything. And that but I mean that was also probably 20 years ago or a little less than 20 years ago when he passed. So they've made some advancements and stuff. And obviously, Michael J. Fox is a big part of that. But yeah, I would probably stay away from Parkinson's jokes.
Yeah. He
But
does make them though. Like when he
it,
talks at the cons, he kind of
he,
like
he
laughs
like
at it.
the vast majority of people are okay with that, are okay with making fun of each other. Like,
Yeah.
that's what we fucking do. That's what normal people do. That's what friends do when you're hanging out. You roast each other, you make fun of each other.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Whenever you see, the couple people that start to get real fucking up in arms and upset
Yeah.
about pretty standard run of the mill jokes because maybe then that they're fine with other things, but that one hit a little
Yeah.
too close to home for them. That's when you know those people are fucking losers, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
They're massive fucking losers. They're probably SJWs that won't admit it, but they're hanging out in these communities. Those are the kind of people you got to fucking watch out for. Snakes like that who end up getting
Yeah.
so fucking offended over the most harmless fucking jokes. I don't know, say for a Blue Beetle review. Things like
Hey
that.
man, we're
It's
gonna
very
talk
interesting.
about that later, okay, Ryan? You shouldn't bring that up.
We're gonna talk about that. Holy fuck.
That's why rest in peace, Crip Daddy was such a special person. The dude
Yes.
just like he's like, hey man, this is the card that was dealt, and I'm gonna roll with it, like nothing. If he actually like went after other crippled people. Like it was like him and Ricky had a massive like who was the most
Yeah,
cripplest person?
who's the most fucked up person?
Yeah,
Spoiler alert, they both won. I guess
they,
I guess at the end of the day, Crip Daddy won because he died first.
yeah.
Like he was the most fucked up.
So yeah, they went back and forth all the time. It was he was hilarious. So it was hilarious. But yeah, you're absolutely right. Absolutely
Um,
right.
we do have some things to talk about today, like Disney. Disney, there was something big that happened last night, kickoff for college football on ESPN. And that is the moment that Disney went dark on the second biggest cable provider in the United States, Spectrum, which I fucking hate Spectrum. It is what it is. But there's some interesting stuff to talk about there. It looks like Disney's desperate for cash. And just in the 12 hours of that aftermath, Disney stock has taken another dive. I do think it is the lowest in over a decade at this point in time, right now as we speak. So we're definitely going to talk about Disney stock and that Disney dispute after they admitted that they're losing a lot of revenue, not just on TV, but also with advertisers on television. And since me and Jay didn't get a chance to talk about this yesterday, we have to talk a little bit about the cringe that is the new Captain Marvel trailer.
Speaking about losing money.
Speaking about losing money, I think everything's looking up for them. I think everything's as positive as it can be. The fact that Dune moved off its date, so it's not going to have that competition. The fact that they're not going to have these women out there promoting it, I think that's a positive for them. So all the
Yeah.
cards are aligning for the Marvels to lose as little amount of money as possible for it. The question is, what is that number?
Gingerbeard just came in with a 5, asking about what you just brought up. So I don't know which direction you want to go in first.
Let's read some super chats and we'll
Yeah.
allow a couple more people to roll in here, and then we will get into this big Disney dispute because a lot of people obviously that watch this channel might not care about college football,
Right.
but the ramifications for right before college football kickoff for the second biggest cable provider, 15 million people in the United States,
Massive.
for Disney to go dark on that as well as every other ES or Disney owned channel is big, and people are really fucking pissed about it. And the way Spectrum has laid it out, they are really making Disney look like the unreasonable ones and the ones who are asking for way too much money. But let's get to some of these. Orko the Great becomes a channel member. Thank you, Orko.
It's a good dude, man. Supports everybody. Good dude.
Orko. Thank you. Kate T, member for 4 months, says Hail 199. Thank you. The Wolf from the Heart gifts a Geeks and Gamers membership. Lizzo's Fupa gifts a Geeks and Gamers membership. TJ drops a 10. That's $50 right there. 10 Geeks and Gamers memberships. Thank you, TJ. KCW, member for 3 months. I can think of 2 big reasons why this is a great thumbnail. Hail all and happy Labor Day weekend. Hail FNT and the 199. Yeah, they're getting a lot of play out of Brie Larson in that tank top for all these Captain Marvel trailers, to be honest with you. I think they've got some sort of study on that, and they realize that it worked well. So they're sticking with it.
You think?
Yeah. There's like this in the new trailer. There's like this one lingering one where she's sitting there shaking Kamala's hand, and it's just like a side view of her. And it's like, I see what you're doing there, Disney.
Yeah.
You want the male gaze back.
They're pulling out all the stuff, all the side boob shots, right?
They are. We just got a big $50 super chat from Doug B. Says, good morning, Geeks and Gamers.
God, that was loud.
The applause was?
Was the applause loud for you, chat? It like blew my ears out. Could just be me and this busted up setup I have over here.
It said the soundboard's really loud. How about that?
Okay, yeah, I wasn't the only one. I was like,
how's this? Is that better? All right. It's literally it's fucking like 20% volume. I don't know what's going on. But anyway. Get fucked, headphone users. Anyway, Doug B. Good morning, Geeks and Gamers. It's nice to finally be able to catch this stream live. Y'all are awesome. Bear down, Ryan. Hey, Chicago Bears season open for interpretation. Who knows what's going to happen? We have no idea. So we're 0-0. We're 500. It's not a losing season so far. I hope it's not a losing season.
I don't know what the Dolphins are going to do, but
Tua's probably going to die.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, he'll throw a touchdown pass, and then the next one he'll be on the ground again, like he was last time.
You guys are saying I'm too quiet now. Is that true?
I hear you just fine. So you guys' volume is low.
In general. Well, you just probably got your fucking eardrums blown out. So
yeah, your brain, we're adjusting.
That's probably what's going on, to be honest. But anyway, let's fucking look at this. Gary's beard crabs for 5. You riggers make this knitter snicker. Happy birthday, Jay.
It's September. Thank you.
Yeah, his fucking birthday month is over.
It's done.
Holy shit. Weird Man Productions for 5. Jay, why do you do these things with Gina? How did that start?
She 2 years it was 2 years ago. She never did a Comic-Con before. And she asked me if I had any experience, and I said I had one meetup, but I wasn't really in charge. So she asked me, she said, would you like to help me with this? Because she didn't know, like, if you needed, people around her to help her keep her organized and stuff like that. So I did the one in Orlando because I live here, MegaCon Orlando. And she told her management, she's like, no, I need Jay to go with me to all of them because I don't know. I like carry all her stuff and like make sure, everything's organized and stuff. She gets her coffee in the morning, stuff like that. But I get in exchange, man, I get to meet a lot of cool people. So no big deal.
There you go.
So, yeah.
TJ for 20 saw Equalizer 3 last night. I very much enjoyed it and recommend it to anyone looking to see Denzel kicking ass one last time. Hail to you all, and whoever got a membership, you're very welcome. Wish I could do more. Hey, thank you, TJ. We appreciate it, buddy.
I love to hear it, man. I love to hear it.
I'm interested to see what the outcome is going to be for the Equalizer this weekend. Oh man, numbers just came out. $3.8 million in Thursday previews. So obviously preview numbers can differ and be a little bit different based on the genre, stuff like that. If I remember right, Blue Beetles just recently was what 3 million or 3.3 Thursday previews. Equalizer might be looking for $30 million plus opening, maybe with a 3.8, but we'll see.
What do you know, like the budget on that?
The Equalizer 3 budget.
I see a
Let's
lot of
see.
people in chat roasting me, calling me Gina's dog and stuff like that. That's fine. Y'all are welcome to.
The
I
Equalizer
mean,
3
I'm
budget.
doing it. Y'all not.
$70 million is the best estimate
Oh
I have,
wow.
which is not bad. So you're
No.
looking at something, if that hits, $200 million worldwide, you're probably looking at a profitable movie or movie that's made its money back. So that's not too
Just
bad.
teasing you, Jay. I know, man. It's all love. I'll carry her poodle.
Ginger Beard for 5. Good morning, Ryan and Jay. What do you guys know about this Disney Spectrum ESPN deal? If it's only about money, why doesn't Disney make profitable profit? Well, I mean, it is about money, and we have talked a lot about Disney over the last several months and their struggles financially. We have to talk about this, though. And this happened last night. 8 o'clock last night, people are sitting there ready for the kickoff of college football season. And suddenly, at least for people that are cable users and have Charter Spectrum, which is the second biggest cable provider in this country, they were pretty disappointed when they tuned in because they didn't get to watch college football. And instead, all they got was a screen that said, by the way, the Walt Disney Company, the owner of this channel, has removed their programming from Spectrum, which creates hardship for our customers. We apologize for the inconvenience and are continuing to negotiate in good faith in order to reach a fair agreement. Now, people were pissed when this happened, but there is absolutely a reason behind this. We've talked about the latest quarterly earnings report where Disney said not only are they losing money in streaming, but also revenue for TV is significantly down. Bob Iger basically threw up a white flag and said, hey, if anyone's interested in coming in and buying some of our TV channels, we'd love to sell them to you because we're having a hard time making money. Whether that's because people are cutting the cable cord, advertisers are walking away from them, all of these things are piling up. We talk about streaming a lot, but TV revenue is something we don't often talk about, but it is declining and has been for a long time as people continue to cut the cord. And then this happened last night. Disney channels, including ABC and ESPN, go dark on Charter Spectrum in major carriage dispute. ESPN had been televising the U.S. Open tennis and college football when the channel went dark. So this is 15 million cable subscribers, second biggest in the country. We have statements from both Disney and Spectrum that we're going to get to, but we might as well talk about the elephant in the room, and that's Disney stock and what we saw happen right at 8 p.m. last night, by the way, when they went dark.
Wow.
We saw them drop a couple points overnight. To put this in perspective, we've talked about how it hit its lowest point in 9 years the other day when it closed at under $83 per share. If I go through the history of Disney stock, and for me to go back to when it was trading at $81, I mean, $80 is back in May 12th of 2014. You know what I mean? Like this is a long time ago. We're talking about nearly decade lows for Disney. This is before Force Awakens came out, right? This is just after they'd acquired Lucasfilm. These are the numbers we're talking about that have been erased for basically all Disney shareholders.
There are some people that have lost a lot of money. And I bet they are not happy at all.
Undoubtedly. And, this is basically since Bob Iger came back. He came back
imagine this
near
guy
the end of last year.
This dude, Bob Iger, before he left, wrote a best-selling book on how he built and bought all this company and did all that. And then he kind of sailed off before the pandemic, as like, oh, Bob. And then everybody wanted Bob Iger back when they put Chapek in. And now it's like, this is Bob Iger's new legacy. It's just going down in flames right before our eyes in real time.
Yeah, people have no faith. Dude. People have no faith in Disney's ability to rebound quickly. Now, maybe over time, but not anytime soon. Maybe that has a lot to do with the fact that they tried to mislead about how much money they were actually losing on Disney Plus. That's a different lawsuit. But let's look at these statements from Disney and from Spectrum. Spectrum kind of lays into them, and they're being very clear to their audience and to their customers that Disney doesn't want them to have any flexibility, and they're trying to charge an outrageous amount because they're desperate for cash. So this is from Disney. We've been in ongoing negotiations with Charter Communications, so Charter Spectrum, most people refer to it as Spectrum, for some time and have not yet agreed to a new market-based agreement. Disney Entertainment has successful deals in place with pay TV providers of all types and all sizes across the country, and the rates and terms we're seeking in their renewal are driven by the marketplace. We're committed to reaching a mutually agreed upon resolution with Charter, and we urge them to work with us to minimize their disruption. Spectrum decided to speak directly to their customers. The Walt Disney Company has removed their programming from Spectrum, which creates hardship for our customers. We offer Disney a fair deal, yet they're demanding an excessive increase. They also want to limit our ability to provide greater customer choice in programming packages, forcing you to take and pay for channels you may not want. Now, I think what that means is that Disney doesn't want any cable companies to let people choose kind of a la carte. They don't want like, hey, if I just want ESPN, but I don't want all this other shit, or I don't want ESPN. They want you to be forced in any of their decisions, any of their packages, to take on all of Disney's different channels so they get the maximum amount of revenue. That's what I think that means. And then the rising cost of programming is the single greatest factor in higher cable TV prices, and we're fighting hard to hold the line on programming rates imposed on us by companies like Disney. Wow. They're going hard, man. They're going hard on Disney right now.
They have to at this point. Like, who wants, like, if that's how Disney's going to try to squeeze like a few extra bucks from their dumpster fire, I mean, you got to call them out, man. Like that's just where we are. It's sad, man. Like to see this company, it is a shell of itself. And I tell you, mess with the stock prices and stuff, and these shareholders will not be. Things are gonna. They have to change. There is no way they can keep the same, trajectory like with their movies, Disney Plus. Because you mentioned the Disney Plus lawsuits, right? So like, I think is there 3 of them now?
3 of them in some way, shape, or form that are related to Disney misleading people about the money for Disney Plus.
Right. Yeah. It's so we had you broke down this perfect. You broke down like in your video perfectly about the crazy Ahsoka numbers that Lucasfilm decided to throw out. This 14 million views. When the other one came out, I was like, well, it's 1.2 domestically, and then it's like you expect people to believe. You got lawsuits coming in because of your streaming service, and you expect us to believe you're telling us the truth about your numbers and viewership, right? When people are suing you because you are lying about your numbers and viewership and how much money you're making, because it's just a free fall right now. It's crazy. Now, if they lied about those numbers too, and certain like, I don't know how this works, but maybe you can shed some light. So if people are being paid by like numbers or revenue, like views and stuff like that, because isn't that one of the lawsuits? Like they didn't share the correct how much money they made to share with like Fox, because I know it was like Avatar was like the first one.
So that is one from an investor company who's involved with 20th Century Fox products. They're upset because Disney didn't uphold their end of the bargain of where some of these things would be distributed, and that affected their royalties, right? Whether that be on a streamer or whether it be on, like licensing out to TNT or whatever to air it on TV, shit like that. That's what one of those things is about. This one is specifically from investors. And by the way, just so you know, investors don't file lawsuits if they're getting money, like if the business is doing well. When investors decide to file lawsuits is when they are fucking losing money hand over fist. When shareholders are saying, hey, you came out and told us everything was going to be perfectly fine with Disney, right? With Disney Plus. And all of that has come crumbling down. Like that's why this is happening from that perspective. The Ahsoka numbers are interesting because I'm not like, it's certain 14 million views means absolutely nothing, right? Whether it's a real number or not, it means nothing because they've never, ever revealed any numbers for Disney Plus before. So
Right.
there's nothing to compare it to. But just like if we say that number is real, and I think it could actually be real. Um, Disney Plus has 150 million subscribers around the globe. Well, a little less than that now after losing so many the last quarter, but they have around 150 million subscribers around the globe. Um, House of the Dragon was getting 30 million views per episode in the United States. Right? 30 fucking million just in the United States. So you're telling me over a week that Ahsoka globally, because that's the global number for Ahsoka, got 14 million views, whatever that means. And that could be people watching it multiple times. You know what I mean? Like that could absolutely be the case as well. It's not impressive. Think of what Lord
No.
of the Rings came out and said. Lord of the Rings came out and said, and I don't buy this shit for a second either, but just talk like if you want to compare these numbers to these numbers, we have very limited data. But if you want to look at what Amazon said for Rings of Power, they came out and said it got 25 million global views in the first day for Rings of Power. And we know that those numbers weren't necessarily very impressive when the actual ratings started coming out. So that's the thing that I think everybody needs to remember. One, we're talking about different things. Samba measures households. We're just specifically talking about households in the United States. 14 million isn't talking about households. It's talking about views, whatever that means on a global perspective. So there's a lot of people that don't really understand what those things are. And it's like, oh, how could it be 14? This says 1.2, or this only says 1.2. That's obviously wrong. It's not what it's about.
I also was like, somebody was trying to explain it. It was either in Variety or the Hollywood Reporter saying that Disney possibly could be adding household family members to that number. So they're kind of guessing like maybe there's 5 people in that household and they all watched it together, so they add that to that number, which it's just pulling from like pulling from the air, just like assuming. They're like, well, we take the census report and the average family is 3 people, and then maybe we can add this, and so we can add that all to the number. I don't know if they're doing that. I was just reading it. I was like, that'd be kind of weird too, to kind of inflate things. If they were doing that kind of that kind of number
Yeah.
mechanics. But at
Like
the end of the day, though, Disney's getting ready to add commercials to Disney Plus. So
they already
it's
have.
they have
Like
done that already.
that ad based tier has been there.
I did not know that.
And almost no one's signing up for it because
Ah,
people don't want to watch ads on their
yeah,
streamers. And that is so they were almost kind of open about that in their last quarterly earnings call, that one of the reasons they're raising prices is to try to get people to downgrade to that ad-based tier. Because here's the thing, I've talked about this for fucking 3 years, I feel like, but they completely fucked this up when they all went in on streaming, because what was keeping them alive and having so much money was the advertisers. The ability to advertise on your platform and commercials with traditional linear TV. That is huge. That is massive. Like, we make money from advertisers. Like, just the idea that you can get your ad in front of a video that's going to be seen by, I don't know, 100,000 people. That has tangible value and people will pay that. If you convince everyone to go to streaming, that's no longer the case, right?
yeah.
And people they don't associate streaming with commercial watching. That's one of the things they liked about streaming. So the difference is now for these views, these tangible things that have value, you're only getting $10 a month from however many millions of people instead of the billions and billions and billions of dollars that are there from advertisers. So they want you to downgrade and take the $5, $6, $7 ad supported plan, because based off that, they're going to make so much fucking more money from that one person because you can sell that person to advertisers. They're going to go back to more traditional, like that's what it's going to be because they've miscalculated in such a
Yeah.
big way.
You think they will eventually get rid of it, like streaming, and just like make it a regular, like cable, like break it up into like cable channels again?
I think
Or
eventually you're just going to see, I think you're going to see them dwindle down. I think you're going to see some of these smaller streamers get absorbed and stuff like
okay.
that at some point. But
So it'll
I
be like a
think
big
that
package deal. It'll be like HBO, Disney, ESPN, like there'll be
I
something
think
like
you're going
that
to see
eventually.
at the end of the day, I think ESPN's going to do something different because that's a sports thing. So whatever they try to do, you're going to see Amazon, Max, Disney Plus, Apple has enough money to float by if they want to do whatever they
Yeah.
want. And I think a lot of the smaller ones like Paramount Plus or Peacock, they're eventually going to get into agreements with people to just shut that fucking streamer down and shift all of their content over onto one of those other platforms. That's what I think it's going to be. And then I think at some point, I think within the next several years, there's not going to be any more no ad tiers. I think they're just going to say, we're putting ads in it. Deal with it. That's what I think.
Well, if they all do it, what
Mm-hmm.
can you do? You know,
Mm-hmm.
that's the big thing. If they all just start doing that, then it's like, what can you do? But
Yeah, and
yeah,
obviously, if I didn't mention Netflix, Netflix will obviously still be there
yeah.
too. If I didn't mention that one, that's kind
So
of
at the
where I
end of
was
the day,
going.
you're saying like in a few years it'll probably be Apple, Amazon, Netflix. That could possibly
Disney,
be,
Disney, and the fuck you call it?
but Hulu or
Probably
Max. You
Apple,
said
like Apple, because I just think Apple has so much money they can float by, they can do their own thing. Same with Amazon, right? They're in no financial trouble, so as long as they want to do it, they can do it.
okay.
Um, that's kind of my feeling, and then I think a lot of the little ones are going to go away. But who knows? Maybe Apple will buy Disney, like
You
everybody
don't think
says.
Google will be a player in any of this?
I
And
don't
like
know.
put it on like YouTube, like wasn't like the because the Cobra Kai series started off on YouTube.
Well, YouTube Red was a thing that they tried for a while. They
Yeah,
got out of that. They are in, I mean, they have YouTube TV,
yeah,
which is essentially
that's what I
a
have.
hybrid, me too, a hybrid between cable and streaming, right? It's cable TV, but you're just doing it off streaming. That's how it is, which is
Yeah,
frustrating sometimes depending on the signal, especially if you're watching sports, but it is what
yeah,
it is. Either way, the final point is the Ahsoka numbers are literally fucking meaningless, except for the fact that it tells us they're desperate. That's the one thing. They have held on to these numbers. They have never wanted to reveal these numbers. But once the news got out that the Ahsoka ratings were not good, in fact, they were bad compared to all other Star Wars shit, they went into panic mode. That is the truth. That's the reality. And you can believe the numbers, but you have nothing to reference it to.
yeah,
So it doesn't really matter. In all reality, that number is about half of what Obi-Wan did and probably right about in line with what Andor did. That's that's the truth. People can try to like push away Samba TV is not accurate, blah, 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 whatever. Samba TV has about 1,000 times bigger sample size than Nielsen does, the gold standard. But the difference is Samba actually tracks how many households watch something in a given period of time. Whereas Nielsen, the only thing we get from that is minutes watched.
oh
So so that can differ in a big way. Look at Suits. Suits has been dominating the Nielsen streaming ratings because there's like 130 episodes that are all 45 minutes long. And people might watch fucking 30 episodes of Suits in that given week. And it has massive streaming numbers. Now, are as many people actually tuning into that as tuned into, I don't know, so whatever, name the random streamer? They don't know. You don't know if you're looking at Nielsen numbers. The same token, if something has a premiere of one episode that's 1 hour long and another thing has a premiere of one episode that's 30 minutes long, those numbers could be vastly different in terms of minutes watched, but the same number of people could watch it. So Samba is more helpful and has a bigger sample size and is more
yeah.
actually helpful to see the differences between these things than the standard Nielsen ratings are. Like, there's really no other way around it. Like, The Witcher season 3 comes out and it tracks the Witcher numbers, but that's also people that are rewatching the first and second seasons too. Those numbers are all going into that.
Oh, I see.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I don't think most people understand that when they're just looking at the Nielsen ratings. So
Wild stuff, man.
yeah.
What do you think will happen with the Spectrum? You think Disney will either settle or it just won't be on the
They'll come to an agreement in a couple
common
days.
agreement?
I think that is probably like the stock price this morning is probably a wake up call to them. But at the same time, they might try to stick their foot in the ground and think they can bully Spectrum around a little bit because guess what? People want ESPN.
Yeah.
They want ESPN during college football season. We're about to start NFL season as well. So agreement. This isn't like the first time this has happened. I'm sure every single one of you can remember a time or a period where you were watching a channel and a commercial came on. It's like, DirecTV has been in negotiations with National Geographic, and we know that you guys want it. But if you want them to make sure to give us a fair deal, call 1-800 Disney sucks. Right? Like,
yeah.
I remember that shit from my childhood. These disputes happen. This is a big dispute for all Disney channels on the second biggest cable provider. This is a big fucking deal. And I don't know how long it's going to take them to resolve it. All right. Where the fuck am I? Let's catch up with some of these. Filthy Robot for 10. Nice meeting y'all in Vegas this past April. Ryan, would you and Gary consider doing an FNT and G&G meetup in San Diego? Hail G&G in chat. I would. I know Gary would be down for it.
They kind of did, didn't they, at the Comic-Con?
They did. They did a little one at Comic-Con.
Wasn't the full crew, though.
No, it was just Gary and Quarter Black and Chris and a couple other people on that panel, I think. But I mean, I certainly would be down for it. I'm open to almost anything. It just all depends on the time frame and if we can make it make sense. So, yeah, I wouldn't mind going to San Diego again. Doug B for 20. We love RK3PO. Hope you have a fun trip, Jay. Planning on streaming this weekend?
Yeah, the schedule's probably will stay the same. Just the background will be a little different. My grandmother's old lamp too. So
nice. Yeah, that mirror is very familiar. We've seen that before.
Yeah.
Steel leg of history for 5. Ryan, tell this how I put roast beef in my leg and ketchup to make it look like a torn limb during Halloween, so I have a twisted sense of humor. Hey, you do you, man. Scare those fucking kids. Tobias Nexus for 2. They want the male gaze, but not the male audience. I know, right?
Sounds like it.
Tobias Nexus for another 5. How long does a viewer need to consider a program to watch a program before it's considered actual viewing to be counted? Anyone know? It differs. What most people are assuming is that they're doing it the same way that Netflix does, which is, I think, an actual reasonable way to do it would be take the total number of minutes watched and divide by the number of minutes that program is. So that would basically count one full viewing of the show as one view. That's what people are claiming the numbers from Disney represent. I don't think there's any verification from Disney on that. Disney has not been transparent at all when it comes to that, but that is the assumption that's out there. So, and how long was the first episode of Ahsoka?
40 plus minutes.
How long was the first Ahsoka?
It was like 40, then 38, then 20.
54 minutes. 54 minutes. So
I think it was, well, I guess they added the...
But you got credits and stuff like that for sure. So 54 minutes times 14 million would be, now this is interesting. That would be 756 million minutes watched. That wouldn't be enough to top the Nielsen charts. Of course, that's just for one episode, not for both episodes, which will be combined whenever we see that number in 4 weeks. But that's also a global number. It's also a global number, not a United States number. So I think it would be safe to say we can expect the Ahsoka series to come in somewhere around 600 to 700 minutes, 600 to 700 million minutes in the US. Once you count the second episode, once you break it down just in the United States, that's my guess right now, between 600 and 700, which would not be very impressive. The Obi-Wan series, to put that in perspective, debuted at like 1.1 billion minutes watched on the Nielsen, But again, all comes down to how much time is in that 3-episode premiere of Obi-Wan and shit like that. So all these factors to weigh in. TK Magic Shop for 5. As a stormtrooper for the 501st and Lucasfilm from 2008 to 2020, I'm completely done with Disney after the sequels. Trash. Hell yeah. Thank you. Holy fuck. Did we miss Jeremy? Jeremy dropped 50 gifted memberships. When was this? That just happened. Jeremy gifted 50 D-Day Cobra with 50 Geeks and Gamers memberships. Decided to stop by. Apparently, he made a promise to people. He made a promise to people on something to pay back. I don't know. That's what he said in the chat. But thank you, Jeremy, for the 50 memberships.
Thank
a lot
you.
of fucking money.
Yeah.
Doug B gifts 10 Geeks and Gamers memberships. That's $50 right there. Thank you, Doug B. He sent a couple super chats as well today. So thank you, dude. Chris Cranford for 2. Jay picked you up a Blu-ray for Indy today. LOL.
Thanks.
I mean,
the new one. Great. Also,
is it out? That's not out yet, is it?
I don't know. I think it's on streaming now, right? I have the pirated version.
I don't know if it's on. I don't know if it's like available on Disney Plus, but it might be video on demand or whatever right now. I don't know.
Maybe. Also, this month, be ready. I think we'll do it this month. I think me and Ryan and a few others, I'm going to take Ryan to Halloween Horror Nights at Universal Studios. Maybe near closer to the end of September. We all got
gets a little cooler out. That'll be nice.
Yeah, I'm looking at mid-September. So
well, mid-September you're going to be in Utah.
I know that's just for 2 days, but I know everybody's looking forward to Ryan back at Halloween Horror Nights for an awesome live stream.
You know, I feel like that shit takes years off your life, and it's because I'm so fucking paranoid and anxious about not getting scared. And so I don't, you know what I mean? Like going through those things, I'm constantly just scanning everything to not be scared. So like I'm predicting a person's gonna pop out of there. I'm predicting this, and I'm like, my fucking eyes are like wide open the whole time. And I think that takes more of a toll on me than getting scared shitless would.
You know what's crazy though? As far as a theme park, the Halloween Horror Nights this year, they increased because of like demand. The ticket prices for some of their tiers have gone up $300, which is a massive jump because they can't, and while over the summer Disney sold a discounted ticket to try to get people in. So the prices are really, really high, but I mean
they are, but to be fair, it was so fucking packed.
Yeah.
Like it was so fucking packed for Horror Nights last year that I don't necessarily mind them doing that and maybe pricing some people out a little bit.
Well, we had to buy the
pricing
fast
people
pass.
out, but maybe so people aren't maybe not as many people buy that top tier and are going every single day. Like, because if you don't buy the fast pass, it's a pointless experience.
Yeah.
So maybe if the demand is there, they can absolutely raise the price. And I think they showed last year with how crowded it fucking was. The demand is there. So I don't have any issue with it. It sucks, but it is what it is. Although the thing that sucks to me is that they start charging for parking. Like the valet parking is like 70 or 80. Well, for annual pass holders, it turns from being free. Valet parking changes from being free to like $40.
Yeah.
And that sucks.
And it's like 75 for the regular. That's crazy. But I want Ryan's gonna go there and eat. He's gonna try some of the food, like the deep fried peanut butter and jelly.
Is that confirmed back?
They haven't.
Don't fucking get me excited for that. If it's not gonna happen.
Yeah. Well, they've got like a skeleton pepperoni thing. So I'm gonna let you choke that one down.
Yeah, valet parking, Mr. Moneybags over here. Well, no, like if you have the top tier annual pass, you get free valet parking.
Yeah,
That's the thing.
free.
It's nice. You don't have to fucking pay anything extra for it.
It's a great perk.
It's a awesome perk. I don't have to fucking walk with all the herds of cattle like through all the different parking lots. I just like you have your own private little security entrance. Sometimes there's this stupid annoying fuck that I despise there. Remember that fucking idiot, Jay? Bro, I hate this
Ryan
guy.
can see that guy like a mile away. He's like, that's the guy. Just so loud.
I run into him every time at Universal. Yeah. I hate him. He is like, if you take something you don't need to out of your pockets and put it in the security thing, he like screams at you that you don't need to do that. And it's like, bitch, like, let me just fucking, and he like tries to make you take it out of the security thing and put it back in your pocket, like chapstick or something. I'm like, you fuck. Like, I'm literally just going to empty my pockets and not fucking worry about it and send it through. You old ass fucking cocksucker. I hate that dude with a passion. And I run into him everywhere.
Every time.
He was doing a ride.
Yes,
like,
right.
He was on the money or something. What, I don't remember what it was, but he ran into that fucker. Like, whenever, especially if he's at the security gate, he just pisses me off for the rest of the trip. So,
that's anyway, why I always got to go with Ryan because you never know what's going to happen. It's great.
Yeah, you never know. Greedo Gaming for 5. Jeremy kept his promise, and I respect that a lot. Thank you, Jeremy, for being awesome. Hail the Snake Pit and the 199. There you go. Apparently, Jeremy got locked out of his account because he spent too much money or something
on himself.
On his own channel. So yeah. Luke Korolowitz art for 4 months. I did a video laying into the Strike Force 5 podcast in the name of Nerdrotic. Long live FNT. I think I'm doing a reaction tomorrow night with Chrissy of that podcast. So I don't know if it's going to be on her channel or not. I think it is. So yes, we'll be reacting to Strike Force 5 podcast tomorrow. That'll be fun.
Is that what they call it?
Yes. Because
this is a late night.
It's during the strike, right? It's during the strike. And there's 5 of them. Yeah, Strike Force 5.
Jokes write themselves sometimes, man. Hey, who's
not for them, not for them anymore. They lost their writers, so as unfunny as they were before, just imagine them now.
Strike Force 5. Wow. Who's the guest tonight on FNT? Are you allowed to say it? They didn't announce it yet.
I don't really remember, to be honest. Oh. It's I don't remember. I have to look. But you'll know in a couple hours, and so will I. Chris Coran for 5. It would be a 1 million view video if Ryan hits somebody during a jump scare live stream. It would truly be epic.
Yeah. He'd also get arrested. I will say this for Halloween Horror Night, they do have a lot of police there. And then, have a lot of police there to keep people safe. There's a lot of idiots that come out, but maybe if they price some people out, it won't be so bad.
Apparently the podcast is like pretty much audio only. So I really wish it was video to see, because they all have miserable looking setups, right? These are all like multi-million.
Looks like my setup.
With it looked like Jay and
Strike
look
Tito
so
money.
Awkward
That's
and
right.
dumb. And Jimmy Kimmel like just had his head in his hands the whole time, like he just didn't give a fuck. So I wish that's how it was. It's not going to be funny. It's going to be cringe. So
I knew I heard that name before. Tito Santana and Rick Martel had a tag team called Strike Force. That's right. It's a Strike Force 5. Oh man, Hollywood, the gift that keeps on giving. So.
KCW for 199. Gonna tape my spoon to my back for Halloween. Hey, you're gonna go as Jay.
You should have some spaghetti in your hand.
Stickle Jana for 199. More like Vax Force 5. Yeah, that'd probably be more appropriate. Jay, we got to talk about something real quick that happened at the box office. Taylor Swift is not a topic we typically talk about on this channel, but I think this deserves it. We talk about movies, we talk about the box office, stuff like that. Taylor Swift is clearly, whatever you think about her music, she is the fucking queen of fucking entertainment right now.
Slay queen, slay.
Not only is her Eras tour like have people going insane for it and shit like this and selling like insane numbers, but they're also making this into a movie experience and putting it out in theaters in October. And she smashed all of these records from some of the biggest movies we've ever seen in history, right? Avengers Endgame, Spider-Man No Way Home, all of this stuff. Taylor Swift in a 24-hour period has smashed the pre-sale records. Taylor Swift Eras Tour film earns record-breaking $26 million in pre-sales at AMC theaters. Keep this in mind. It just sold more in pre-sales in a 24-hour period at one theater chain nationwide than Blue Beetle made its entire opening weekend in the fucking country.
Can we taco about it, man?
Yeah, we should taco about that. But like, look at this stuff. Her Eras Tour concert film, which opens theatrically on October 13th, has already earned a massive $26 million in pre-sale tickets at AMC. It set a single-day ticket sale record for AMC, besting the benchmark previously held by Spider-Man No Way Home at 16.9 million, less than 3 hours after the tickets went on sale. That's also, I think Avengers Endgame was also at 16 million. It had the record for a while before No Way Home broke it. Like, I don't think it's really possible to comprehend just how massive this is. I don't know how long it's staying in theaters. I don't know how many showings they're going to do. Obviously, they're probably going to up the showings after this, but this is wild. I'm not a big Taylor Swift fan. I'm also not a big Taylor Swift hater. I'm pretty impartial to her. I understand why a lot of people probably go out there and like her music. I can see why it appeals to a huge portion of the country, but this is a wild, wild number.
What do
26 million.
What do you think that theater experience is going to be like if you walked in and sat down to a sold out Taylor Swift movie? Is it just going to be a bunch of...
It's going to be a lot of white women standing up and screaming.
And just singing?
Yeah. That's what that's what I think. That's personally what I think it is. But holy shit, dude.
I mean, okay, if you had children and they love Taylor Swift, they love the whole thing, would you rather spend all this money to go take them to a concert, or would you rather say, get all your friends together, I'll take you to the theater? Because if you're a parent,
as a parent, I'd rather go to the theater 100%.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. So it's like you take them to the theater, and I mean, you could even also say, I'll go watch this and I'll come and pick you back up. Or whatever. I think the theater is an easy choice for people that have children that want to go see it. So that's probably why it's doing so well. It's not as expensive. It's probably better contained, things like that. So
it is still pretty expensive though, because they priced this at a premium. One, probably because it's a 3-hour experience, but in true prices in true Swift fashion are numerically loaded, with tickets averaging $19.89 for adults and $13.13 for children and seniors on standard screens. IMAX and Dolby screens will cost more.
It's still cheaper than going to the concert, though.
Well, oh, for sure. Yeah, but that's more than going to a normal movie.
Yeah.
That's not even counting all the other theaters that are out there that will be having this. Wild shit.
That is crazy. I wonder if more. Well, I don't know if there's any other artists out there that would do something like that. I wonder if they take notice and try to mimic the same thing. So
if they have the draw, I'm sure.
Yeah. When is those Justin Bieber tickets? Come on.
I don't know.
Let's go, Ryan.
That Justin Bieber clip of him asking why black people are scared of chainsaws has been going around a lot recently. Have you seen that?
Yeah. I think that's why I brought him up.
It's been going on a lot.
Yeah.
Tobias Nexus for 5. As a former usher, I feel so bad for the floor staff of those theaters. They're going through hell to make sure it all goes well. Hey, it'll be a shit show. AJ Fontillis, welcome to the 199. Thank you. Now I wanted to do something too. I know you guys got to experience the Marvels trailer yesterday with Jeremy and
so
I think
didn't see it.
Beardo, but I wasn't on either. So I feel like we need to talk a little bit about this because listen, this is the best performing trailer for them in terms of a ratio. It's only like, it's only like, I don't know, 3/5 of people liking and 2/5 of people despising it. So we'll see. But man, oh man, people were very, very worried that after all the Hollywood strike stuff with no end in sight for the writers and the actors strike, that more things were going to get delayed. We saw Dune 2 get pushed from its November 3rd opening date. Was the Marvels going to get pushed as well? Well, thankfully, we've had our answer multiple times. They are not going to push the Marvels. Captain Marvel 2 gets released update amid delay worries. And now they doubled down. They have released a trailer, Jay, called Journey to the Marvels in theaters November 10th. They don't need marketing. They don't need Brie Larson and company out there talking about this movie. In fact, I think that would make things worse for them. If they have Brie Larson company talking about how great it is to have female empowerment and females behind the camera, females in front of the camera, all female this, all female that, I think it'll probably help them not to go out and talk about it. But they did release this. And I feel like we need to get updated about what this is because they're trying to remind everybody of who these fucking characters are because no one cares. Do you remember the first two trailers that were released, Jay? This is the first one.
That was on thousands of thumbnails and all over social media. That picture right there.
That's true. And 808,000 dislikes to 500,000 upvotes. This is the worst. This is the most disliked trailer in the history of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Then they came out with another one, and they were probably pretty happy with this because what? The pause.
Little side booby action there.
This is what they're doing in these trailers, man. And this one didn't get ratioed. Very close, 240,000 dislikes to 250,000 upvotes. But now we have the one they put out yesterday that is already getting memed to death. 16,000 upvotes to 11,000 down. Maybe they can avoid the ratio on this one too. But what people are talking about is the opening fucking frame of this, Jay. Watch this.
It gets pretty lonely.
With the cat on the...
With the cat on her shoulder.
It's pretty lonely out here.
About the worst looking CGI possible.
It's awful.
This is now the standard for Marvel movies, to be honest. And
that's awful.
This Disney Marvel is saved. Her just flying around a moon or something with Goose. Is that this cat Goose? There's going to be people out there. You know
who the comic book.
You know who you are. The people out there that will love any animal in a movie. You'll probably like Goose. You'll get sucked in. Even Film Junkie said, guys, stop making fun of fan films. Right? Like just roasting the fuck out of this. But I wanted to play this because there's a couple things I think are very, very interesting.
It gets pretty lonely out here. I need to regain the memories that the Kree took from me.
Auntie Carol!
You are Carol Danvers, the most powerful person I knew. Way before you could shoot fire from your fists.
Just want to make that clear how they describe Carol Danvers. You were the most powerful fucking person I knew, and then you got superpowers.
And you got powers,
Just to fucking remind you that this person is the most ultimate, most powerful person in history of the MCU.
I get in trouble for that.
I can see that about you.
But what happens when I'm finally set free? I'll be back before you know it. Lieutenant Trouble.
And here's Lieutenant Trouble, Monica Rambeau. So they're doing it. They're trying to recap, right? What happened in Captain Marvel. And then what happened to these other two characters that literally nobody fucking cares about. Monica Rambeau from WandaVision and Miss Marvel from the least watched Disney Plus series for Marvel in Miss Marvel. But I guess let's get through these quick.
when you left. Mom passed away.
And I got blipped back. They rounded us to investigate earthbound anomalies.
Monica, no!
This is
That's
the only. Go ahead.
That's exactly what they're doing. They're just saying, like, here's the summary of everything you didn't need to watch.
Yeah, you know, all you people out there that have no idea who these characters are or
Yeah.
care about them, we're trying to update you on why you should. Just by the way, Monica Rambeau getting in a spacesuit and touching a mysterious wall of fucking light is the only thing we know that her character does on a consistent fucking basis.
Yeah.
Because that's also what she's going to do in the Marvels. Like the same fucking thing. It's the same fucking scene. But I guess you get superpowers from it once. Why not keep doing it?
Now I can manipulate wavelengths of the electromagnetic spectrum.
I'm very happy for you. Where's our daughter?
Yes, where is Kamala?
Who's Kamala?
Hi.
How do you have this?
My grandma sent it to me in the mail. Have you ever wanted something so bad? And it actually happened. But it's not as great as you imagined it.
You want to save the world? Then you're going to save the world.
Well, now, don't you tell me.
Listen, they are
Same
very
music.
they are very strategic, and we still have the Beastie Boys out there. And this line has been promoted so many times. Well, now, don't you tell me to smile. That has to be a shot at everybody talking about Brie Larson, right?
Absolutely. And I'm looking forward to the Brie Larson Halloween costumes. If women will dress like that. White tank top. Very simple. We all know.
There's been so many shots of her in these fucking
I
trailers.
know.
It's wild.
We'll be looking for you, ladies. We'll be looking for you.
Yeah, and then here we go.
You stick around and make it what you want. Number B,
What is happening? We switch places whenever we use our powers. Higher, further, faster. Together.
Dude, man, whatever the fight scene that is, it just looks like they filmed it in a garage. It just looks, it just looks bad. Like
If
coming
this
from where we were, to now, it's like definitely a major downgrade.
the effects look terrible in this. If this trailer was full of things or shows or characters you cared about, it might be a decent trailer. You know what I mean? But nobody cares about them. No one cares about these characters. They haven't cared about these characters. They did care about the Captain Marvel movie because you sandwiched it in between two of the biggest movies in cinematic history. And the first one left off on a cliffhanger, implying that you must watch Captain Marvel to be aware of what happens in Endgame, right? One of the best marketing campaigns we've ever seen for a movie, but people did not like it, right? Very, very divisive once people actually saw what it was. And they can try all they want to get people to care about the characters. I don't know how this movie is going to be a financial success for them based on how much we likely know they spent on it. But I guess we'll see. Are you excited for the Marvels?
Well, it hasn't. I mean, listen, when it was going back, it was like Captain Marvel was supposed to be the new leader of the Avengers. We were hearing she's going to get a sequel. The sequel went from Captain Marvel 2 to the Marvels. Then they started adding, the Disney Plus characters in. It's just the bar graph is heading in the wrong direction. So I don't know. Plus with the strikes going on, they can't use the actors to promote it at all.
I think that's a benefit.
Yeah.
I honestly think that's going to be a benefit. Because
they don't have any competition now because the other movies moved and there's not much coming out anyway. So I guess we'll see. Maybe they can get they can get like a Barbie bump, maybe. Hey, you like Barbie? Come watch Captain Marvel. It's Barbie with superpowers.
I just don't think that that's going to happen. Right.
I don't either.
Exactly. I just don't think that that's going to happen for
No, I mean,
Um,
look at the superhero movies in general. Like they just have gone, like people just have lost interest. They just don't care. They don't want to watch it. They just don't care. Also, they know that these things are going to come out in streaming. Like in a month or two later. So it's like, why spend all the money? I'm taking my kids to see Taylor Swift. I'll watch the Marvels when it comes out on like streaming somewhere. So that's everything is set up for it to fail miserably. So
Barbie appealed to women. I don't know if this movie does. I don't think so. But yeah, we'll see what happens with the Marvels. I'm glad it didn't get moved. I'm glad it
but
didn't
that's
get
the
moved.
thing is like what's the stakes in this? Like it's there's nothing. Like what's the point of this film? How does this go into the MCU, into the Kang dynasty? How does all that stuff work
Well,
in
it
together?
ties in with Captain Marvel, Miss Marvel, WandaVision, and Secret Invasion. And it's like now the culmination of all those stories. Like that's what you're supposed to
So
be in on it
Secret
for.
Invasion,
But
actually, I have to. Isn't Secret Invasion the worst watched Marvel
second
Disney Plus?
worst behind Miss Marvel.
So you have Miss Marvel, Secret Invasion, the two shows that nobody cared about to watch. You're putting them in a
Correct.
film to try to tie it all in together. Yeah, nice recipe you got there, man.
Yeah.
That's brilliant on you guys. Like, let's put them in a big blockbuster film and spend hundreds of millions of dollars. Beautiful, well
Yeah, I
thought
mean,
out.
this movie's. I think this movie's probably it's going to be reported as probably between 225 or 250 million. They probably spent 300 million on it, just like they have with all of their fucking shit that they have to come out and reveal in the aftermath. They had multiple rounds of reshoots. The fact that this movie's only going to be like an hour and 37 minutes long or something, the shortest MCU movie ever, says a lot.
Jeez.
Like they had that many reshoots, they still cut so much out of it. I mean,
I just want to know if
I'm not opposed to short movies, but
I just want to know if Samuel Jackson's making out with some Skrulls in this. Are we gonna have that? We're gonna
you,
relive that on the big screen. That
you
that
bring his
that might
bitch up
happen.
there, or did you leave her at home, or you leave her on Earth? I don't remember.
Yeah, who
I
knows?
just remember them kissing before they went up.
Maybe at the end of the film, all these characters are just Skrulls. They'll just turn into it. Be like that'll be the big ooh ah.
Maybe. Uh, for two, Ryan, my guy. Nice pauses. It's hard not to. Like I'm telling you, they're fucking all through every trailer. Like that's what they're doing. Eric K for two. Ryan has a semi. So much of his girl. Retribution Zero, member for 2 months. Now Disney Marvel loses the Dune 2 as an excuse for Marvel's bombing. Someone get Jay his rag for the pause screen.
I left it at home.
There you go.
I'm sure Grandma has one somewhere.
World videos for 199. Halloween Horror Nights. Let's go.
Yeah, man. Oh, I'm excited. The only one that I'm a little nervous about, like I don't know if I'll do, is the Exorcist one, but we'll
I have
see.
no interest in that.
Yeah.
Fuck. Keep me away from that one. Other than that, I'm probably what I hated last time that everybody loved was it the Weekend one?
Yeah.
It just had so many flashing lights,
The
like the strobe
strobing.
lights. I hated it. Like
I
some of the
like
theming
that
in it
one.
was cool, but I just hated the constant strobing. I thought I was gonna have a fucking seizure.
The Halloween house was awesome, man. Recreating the whole thing.
That was cool, yeah.
Ryan got it the worst in that house because as soon as we went through the closet, that thing came swinging at you, man.
Yeah,
That was wild.
they tried to get me. I got him though. What does Skrull Poontang look like? I don't know. I don't
I'm
know.
sure there's a video out there you can watch.
I'm with Nikki about the Exorcist house. Yeah, I don't want to invite those demons. I don't want to
Yeah.
invite the demons into me. I think I've talked about this live. I don't want anything to do with fucking exorcism and demons and shit like that. Take me to something else. That boat one, that was cool. That was the coolest themed one we saw last time.
Yeah.
So I'm out on the Exorcist house. All right, but other than that, I think we're all caught up. Jay, what do you got going on in your humble abode there?
Oh no, we're gonna be working on the same thing, and for videos and stuff, I'll be going live tomorrow, my normal live stream, and that's it. We're selling Achromatic Chronicles Blue for a second chance option. I'm glad people that were waiting on some of the reviews before they wanted to pick it up. So that's doing pretty well, better than what I thought it would do. So you have about 20 days left to pick that up. And then you won't be able to get it again until next year when we start with the second one. So make sure you check that out. We'll have it shipped out before Christmas for sure. So it's all exciting stuff, man. Everything is good. And I'm looking Krista texted me yesterday and she wants me to watch One Piece because she wants to do a review. So I might be watching that all day today. And maybe it'll be me, Krista, and Melanie. We'll do a One Piece review.
Yeah, I've never watched it, so I don't know.
They said I would like it as pirates, so I don't know anything about it. So we'll see.
And as for me, I'll be on Friday Night Tights in a couple, whatever that is, in a couple hours, I guess. I'm just gonna be cranking out videos and my normal shit. So I'll do my Sunday live stream at 5:30 Eastern. Other than that, we'll fucking see you guys next week for G&G Daily. Thanks for hanging out and thanks for the support. Thanks for the super chats. Thanks for the gifted subs or memberships, including from Jeremy. Yeah. And hey, get your Taylor Swift tickets while you can. I guess they're going out. They're selling out fast. But one more from KCW this fall. Brie Larson is Captain Milk Truck. Hey, just arrived. All right. Other than that, we'll see you guys later. Peace.